Hello, hi everyone. I am Suraj. Welcome to the first session of Hear the Learner. Uh, you know, Here today we are gathered to learn more about how to build a career in data science, how to break into this domain as a fresher, and to know a bit more about data science specialization from it. Inshallah. So today here with us we have Abhishruti Mandal. Abhishruti has been one of our many successful candidates who have enrolled in data science specialization and has been successful in breaking into the data science industry. So she had a great journey with us until now. This point, we have seen her recently join Future In's Technology as a trainee data engineer. So, welcome to the session, Abhishruti. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Great to have you here. So before we begin the session, we would like to know what, according to you, is data science, and why did you choose data science as a career for yourself?
Well, as the world is more evolving in terms of technology and things are mostly getting web based and more data is being generated every day with a huge amount of data being scattered everywhere and there is a need it needs to be utilized for betterment of these evolving technologies. So here comes the part where we analyze data and get some insights out of it, transform it and build a model which can be used for forecasting things or come up with some predictions that can be helpful in utilizing this data and evolving the technology.
Right. So, this is mostly about data science, but I want to know that what excited you about data science. Like, why did you, Abhishruti Mandal, choose data science as your career option? So, what is the reason behind that?
So, well, I'm mostly excited about the data. It's so much variant. It's images and videos and how it can be part of our life. So, data science is mostly about analyzing things and it's like we can if whatever we do in our day to day life, be it messaging someone or browsing somewhere or like do shopping. So a very common thing is the Amazon. When I look for a mobile phone and the next day it gets some recommendations for me for some of the specifications I'm looking for. So
Correct.
here comes this data science part. So it's so much exciting to be a part of this technology.
Right. So, this kind of gives me an idea that you mentioned that we do a lot of prediction, we gather a lot of data, and the kind of analogy which comes up to my mind right now is astrology. So, in astrology, we also take a lot of data in and we predict the future. So, is it something like that we predict the future based on the data which we collect of the company? Astrology is more like on an individual basis, I believe, on a person to person basis, but I believe data science might be for a company, like how the company might progress later in the future. uh, is that something uh, which you would
Yeah,
like to say,
exactly.
like?
It's very different. Astrology, it's just about like guessing things. It's not based
Right.
on data. It where comes data science. It is about getting insights from the patterns. There is some pattern in every data, and we get to use it.
Right. So it is a skill which requires a lot of efforts, I believe, so that
Exactly.
you can recognize that kind of patterns, and you need to basically put in a lot of efforts to understand that. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So that sounds really exciting, Avishruti. So now I would like to know a bit more about you. So could you please share some more insights about your educational background? What have you done? Before joining the data science specialization from internship.
So I did my bachelor's in BSc in computer science. So after that, I took a break, and I really wanted to know which field I should move on. So back in 2018, I started researching which career is best suited and in which field I'm most interested. So there I found about this data science, big data, and I started looking where I can do more precisely into this field where I can learn this. So I started my master's in computer science with a specialization in data analytics. So there, it was mostly about core computer science and very little of the data analytics part. So there, I got to join an internship where I did some projects on computer vision. Then I started looking for switching my job as I wanted to work more on the data part. So, not specifically in computer vision and more on the numerical data part. So, I was looking for switching. And then I realized that it's not enough. I must know the journey, exactly how the data science journey begins. So I tried to look for this course, and there I got to know about the journey, like the basics of coding, and then starts with preparing the data. So where the data comes, it's always very unstructured, and we need to clean it up. Then comes the processing, and then comes the um, making a model, and then comes that once you have made a model and you get to know about the scores and how you evaluate a model, then comes fine tuning, and then comes showing it up to the clients. So it's basically a journey that I didn't knew before, and which is most industries ask nowadays.
Correct, correct. So, this sounds like a lot of hard work, to be honest, Abhishruti, that you have done so much. You have done your masters, you have done so many projects. But when we talk about our viewers, there are a lot of people, who are coming from various backgrounds. They might have not done their masters, they are still in graduation, not maybe even in engineering, or not even, far related to coding. So, in your experience, what do you think? Is it necessary to have these kind of experiences, knowing coding, doing masters, to get into data science?
Oh, as I said before, data science is mostly about analyzing things. So one doesn't need to be a coder, and it is about understanding a problem and coming up with a better approach to solve the problem. So it's mostly logical rather than being a good coder or being with the particular field. You don't need to come up with computer science specifically or even any engineering background. You just need to have that problem solving skill in this case.
Right. I can
So the
understand that.
whatever, yeah,
I what I believe here is that, pardon my language, but वो problem solve करने का कीड़ा होना चाहिए, right? Like, you should be very much intense into getting solutions about stuff, right? So that
yeah.
is what I understand from it. But maybe you can build more on this, like, कि data science, how do we get into data science, as per se, like as a fresher, how do you break into this industry? Because as you mentioned, when people research about the potential careers which they can float with, or they can get into, data science is one of the hottest among them. you know, Most of the people want to get into this industry. So, why don't you walk us through what your journey has been like? How did you break into it, and what would you suggest to our viewers? How they should prepare themselves to get into data science.
So, firstly, I would say that you must know before that what why data science is needed. And see, data science is needed because there is a lot of data that can be made useful for this, for any technology. So we can say that can start off in this career. It is the hottest in this industry, and because it is in very much in demand, because nowadays companies are looking for this, and there is no much people in this skill actually. So people are nowadays trying to upskill themselves with this, and it is very much in demand because nowadays data is everywhere, and even many little shops which we can see around are coming up online. So even in future, they must come up with some problem statement that they need to grow their sales and they need some solution to their shop. So you can start off with this actually.
Right. So, I can understand that, as we are moving to the digital domain, where everyone is getting online, everyone is trying to sell online, a lot of data is accumulated, I believe. And to basically make a proper business strategy, or, to basically reach out to the audience you want to. And the audience has, in the first place, became, a vast audience. Now that we are online, we are not just limited to our own nukkads or chorahas. We are much more out there in the world. We can upskill to the state, we can upskill to the country, we can upskill even to the world. So
Yeah.
yeah, that is all I can understand. But as a fresher, how do we get into this data science industry? You said we should know uh, what data science is, but after knowing, what are the skills we should work on? What should we do? What kind of project should we do? So that, when there is an opportunity to apply for a job role, or there is an interview, we are able to crack that. What kind of skills do we need for this?
Okay, so like what I experienced is most of the time industries ask for some sort of experience, and you don't get experience until you start working. So here comes hands-on, which is a plus in this case. So if you are a fresher and try to do as many hands-on you can with the projects related to the field and build up your profile, so you can stand up from the crowd actually. So apart from that, you need to be well with the skills they are asking for. So particularly, we choose Python for this in the coding perspective because it is easy and there is no like syntax bound in Python. So you can easily get started off with Python, and rest comes the data part where you clean and process it. So very much you need to know about the algorithms, and then you can easily start off. Rest is about your approach to solve the problem.
Right. So now, by algorithms, what do we mean by algorithms? And I believe I've also heard about software skills like SQL and Excel being very important. So what do you think about those things?
Definitely, like databases are very important in this. So you need to, apart from this cleaning process, and you need to know some knowledge about SQL and Excel. It's about the storing the data and how you can like easily get insights from this SQL. So it is also needed, very much needed in the industry.
Right, right. So yeah, that is very interesting that we need to have a couple of skills before actually going into data science. So you have shared that you have been interested in data science, you have completed your masters. So before getting into data science specialization with internshala, I believe you might have tried for a couple of opportunities, you might have given some interviews. So what has your experience been like before joining the specialization from internship?
So, like I said, when I tried to switch, there was always some minimum experience criteria in most of the companies that I failed to match. Along with that, there was some gap in my knowledge since the time I did masters was mostly on the course, yes. And to start a career in data science, I must know how it starts and how it goes. So, where I mostly lacked after joining the specialization in internship, I got to learn about the journey. So, first the basic and in the coding, and then about the data processing part. So, there I got to know that what things are there in data science and what things I need to focus more. What are the learnings? Also, there was interview preparation where which was mostly helpful because even if you know the answer, you need to be confident enough to deliver it to the interviewer. So we can know about the skill and we have worked on that particular skill, but while delivering it, we might lack in some point. So you might know an answer and fail to deliver it to the interviewer, or you might not know an answer. So it is okay to not know something, but you can be very honest with the interviewer that you don't know this answer, and you can say it that you don't know it and you will try to learn it afterwards. So these kind of small tips and like how it should work in this interviewing part, so this also helped a lot.
Right. So actually, I can't stop smiling when you talk about the interview process, because I remember sharing these tips with you, during the interview preparation sessions, and I'm so glad to hear that you remember all of these things. You know, so
Yeah.
I just like to share these things again with the viewers, that confidence is very very much the key in any interview. It is very much. Given that as a fresher you might not know everything, so it is okay to say that, sir, I do not know this, or I'll get back to you after the interview, I'll research on it and I'll send the answer to you on the mail. All of these things are completely acceptable, because you're a fresher, you're not supposed to know everything. But on the other hand, if you know the answer and you are panicking, that is also a huge problem, because confidence is required in current world. If you are not confident, you can't share your ideas within a team, right? We are all collaborating across various domains, across various teams, and amongst our own teams as well. So that is the first step towards everything, I believe. Confidence is the key, and seeing you share that with the viewers, it's just amazing for me. So that's very very much interesting. But another thing which I would like to know is what kind of packages were you offered before you joined JOS? So that the viewers get an idea that how much of a difference getting a particular specialization makes in their careers.
Yeah, definitely. It is a like when I tried to apply for the jobs. So the problem I faced is there was some criteria that I must have. So when I failed to meet that criterion, when in which I meet that criteria, I got a very less package. So it was so less that it was a like for this field this is so much in demand, and you can't even imagine that this field could have so much less package. So at least from this specialization you can get a confidence that you can apply for this specific job, and you must be confident that this is your package, and this is the minimum you should get at least.
Right. So, I'm very glad to share that with the viewers, that Abhishruti has landed 7 LPA ka package in her first job, which is absolutely an amazing salary for anyone who is building their career with the first job. And the thing which made it happen is basically the placement preparation which we make in our specialization, data science specialization. We have a all hands on deck approach here, where we prepare you through every phase, be it resume creation, be it cover letter creation, be it interview preparation, which had very very positive impact on Abhishruti here itself. And then we also help the students in getting interviews and all of those things. So all we expect from the students here is you need to be consistent and you need to make the efforts, which has always been a positive from Abhishruti's end. We have always seen her being very consistent, always making the efforts, always being there. And what we can ensure from our end is that the students and the candidates who come here and make the efforts, they are going to be able to land a great opportunity before they complete the specialization itself, as Abhishruti have done. So Abhishruti, you got this opportunity before you completed the job well, am I correct? The
Exactly.
specialization, right? Yeah. So that is another interesting fact. So in our audience we have college students, freshers, very much young professionals. Many are wondering how to build a career in data science. We know that these skills are required, but what kind of attitude would you say that these people should have to break into the industry? What kind of conduct they should try to build amongst themselves?
So it's all about determination. You must be determined to what you are trying to do and be very consistent with the thing you are trying to do. So, this data is something you can't come up with insights very fast. So, you have to play with the code, you have to play with the data, and then only you can. So, for this, you need patience and determination.
Right. Sounds like, patience and determination is one of the skills which is required in pretty much, every domain, because it is such a key fundamental in life right now that the pandemic, which has been going on since 2 years, you need to have patience to survive through it, and you need to be determined to make sure that you keep going forward even though there is so much uncertainty which is going on. So yeah, that is really an interesting insight. But we would also like to know from you, what are the challenges which you faced after joining as a data scientist fresh into a company like Futurance. You know? So what are the challenges which you have faced up till now?
So, well, I started off as a data engineer over here, and also it is a training period, so I can't say right now anything. But this challenge for a fresher is the one thing that you got to know about different kind of data, and you don't need to be panicked about it. There is always a solution, there is always an approach, and you need to do your best into it.
Right, that is absolutely correct. So, with that, we would like to take up some questions from the audience. So, we have a question from Hari, and I believe Abhishruti, you can, answer this for them. What kind of certification did you get for data science?
So from like as I proceeded with the course, in every module I got its certification, be it Python. So I got a certification for Python for data science, and then machine learning, and then the dashboarding part, Tableau, SQL. So as you go, you keep getting the certificate you deserve.
Right. Uh, but here, I would like to ask another question. So, just an add-on to Harish's question: is it the certification which is important, or is it the skill which is important? Like, uh, मेरे पास वो इंटर्नशाला का सर्टिफिकेट का पेपर होगा, विद दैट गेट मी द जॉब, और वुड एक्चुअली knowing कि how to use Python, will that get me the job?
Well, when I submit my resume, so the interviewer can see that okay, I have a certification from Internshala on this JOS specialization. Then when I get to give the interview, he won't be only looking at the certificate. He will ask me questions about it. So I must know about the topic I'm giving the certificate for. So certificate really doesn't matter. The thing that matter is the skill. You must be very confident about the skill.
Correct, correct. So that is really eye opening for a lot of viewers. I believe here that certifications are a nice add-on, but the must-have part is actually knowing the skill. So we have another question from Sembatya. I'm sorry if I pronounced that name wrong. So he is asking that I have a Bachelor of Science with Education. I want to branch off to data science. How can I do that? So I believe Abhishruti has already answered this. It is not very much required that you need to have a certain kind of educational background to make a career into data science. You just need to have that passion to work with data, sort data out, visualize it, solve problems, all of these exciting things. So if you are able to do that, and if you are excited by hearing all of this, then I believe it should just be a quest to find the right place to learn, and then you will be able to break into the data science topic. Uh, then we have another question coming from Sindhu. I would like to know people who have 15 plus years of experience in different fields, how do they learn? How do they approach this type if work in data science? Okay, so here basically I believe the question is that Sindhu has worked across various fields. He has 15 years of experience from various domains, and now he wants to shift another domain and want to start work in data science. So I believe I can take this question up. So here, what I would suggest is that your experience from other fields is also going to help you. It is not going to be a limiting factor for you, so it is only going to add to the experience which you have had. And again, starting new in a new domain is always going to be challenging. I'm not going to deny that. That is completely the reality. But what I can assure you is that if you put in the efforts, if you do things correctly, let's say you were a mechanical engineer working uh, in that domain for 15 years. In that domain as well, data scientists are required. You have 15 years of experience in that particular domain, and then you want to shift into data science. Your 15 years of experience will come in handy to a great extent, because if that company or any company in mechanical domain is looking for a data scientist, they know that you have 15 years worth of experience working in that domain, and now you are switching fields into data science. You might take some time to break into the data sciencey part of it, but you know the domain inside out. So you are the one who is going to get preferred in that job role, because you will know the nitty gritty of that particular domain, and we will work on various aspects of the job role, even if you want to switch the domain entirely as well, like how you should you know restructure your resume, how you should approach the interviews, how you should answer these kind of questions, so that you are able to overcome that. I hope I was able to answer your questions. But if you enroll for this course, we'll definitely work on this, and we'll let you know more about this. So, coming on to the last question of this session, it has been a real pleasure having you with us, Abhishruti. We have a question from Rituja. Rituja is asking what things or courses you should learn as a beginner if you want to learn data science and machine learning. So, what would you suggest, Abhishruti, if someone wants
Well,
to start a career?
first you know need to come up with which language you want to start, whether it's like C++, R, Python, Java. You can do it with those languages too. So you need to choose a language first and be at least very good with the basics of that particular language. So if you choose Python, you need to be very good with the basics of Python, and you can start with learning all the machine learning algorithms.
Correct. So yeah, with that, we would like to conclude this session for today. I believe this has been a very well spent half an hour for everyone who has come up here, spent their time, try to be a part of this conversation with us. And thank you so much, for your time, Abhishruti. It has been a pleasure having you with us. And thank you so much to our amazing viewers. You guys can click on the link which we are sharing on the bio to see and explore the data science specialization from Internship. The program fees for this is 7,999 per month, and you only need to pay until the time you learn from this course. So if you are able to complete the specialization within a month, that's the only amount you need to pay. In 2 months, than into two, like that. I hope you all had a great afternoon learning from Abhishruti, and thank you for joining. Bye bye.
Thank you.